welcome you to their spring project. This year's spring project, thank you. This year's spring project has focused on wellness, and through several actions, and you've seen some of their work in the Commons each day, they've delivered lessons on wellness and what it means to have personal wellness. And I'm so excited today that to culminate this wonderful week of awareness, we will have a guest speaker, Mr. Jeff Yalden, who Aaron will introduce in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I would like the members of the SGA to please stand. Members of SGA, could you please give the SGA a round of applause? Leading up to this week and during this week to bring this spring project to you. It takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of thoughtfulness in terms of our community and what some of the needs of our communities are, and then being able to address them in such a wonderful way. So I just want to thank the SGA for all of their efforts. I would like to also thank all of you all for being willing to engage in this really important topic. For those of you that posted on the wellness board in terms of what do you do to take care of yourself, for those of you participating in the lessons, thank you very much for all of your attention. This is an incredibly important topic for you, for your well-being, for our school as a community, and I appreciate all of your engagement in this topic this week. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce Aaron Blazer, who will introduce our guest speaker. Aaron, thank you.
Good morning, Wootton. My name is Aaron Lazar, and I am one of your Student Government Association presidents, or Laser, either one. Throughout the past few months, the SGA has worked tirelessly to create this year's spring project, which revolved around wellness. From our very first Wellness Day in the fall, the displays and activities in the Commons throughout the week, the presentations in your English classes, to today's assembly, we thank you all for being so engaged and respectful throughout the entirety of the week. While we understand that wellness may be a hard and uncomfortable topic to talk about, it is too important not to be addressed. We hope you learned a lot this week and have gained insight on life lessons that you can take with you throughout the rest of your lives. To wrap up our project, we have a very special guest speaker here today to talk to you all. Teen suicide prevention expert, author, and youth motivation speaker Jeff Yalden is award-winning, internationally acclaimed, and is known to literally change lives. I'm very excited to be able to introduce him to you all today. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Jeff Yalden.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I want to, I don't do good up on stages. I like to be more present in the audience with you guys. I like that nobody said anything to you about put your cell phones away, take your hoods off. I don't even like introductions. I like, hey, just give me your microphone, let me have fun. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you right now, if you don't like me after 10 minutes, you can take out your phones. I don't care. I don't come here to speak at you. I come here to speak with you. And I don't know what message you think you're about to hear, whether, hey, you think it's mental health, mental illness, suicide prevention, motivation, drugs, alcohol, resiliency. I was asked a question this morning by one of your students, said, you mean you don't come here with like a plan, like a free package? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't stand behind a lectern and read off a script. I can't. I struggle with anxiety. Speaking is actually very hard for me. Yet, I'm in the Hall of Fame for professional speakers. If I can't be real and share from my heart, I can't do it. My talk with you today is about life. It's about life. And I'm going to tell you, lives are going to change today. And some of you might think, dude, that's a pretty strong statement for someone that doesn't know us. You're right. I spent 27 years working with teenagers, parents, teachers, mental health professionals, professional athletes, college sports teams, and families. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. Don't answer it, just think it to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, who's the hardest person to get to know? Ladies and gentlemen, people come into your life for one of two reasons. People come into your life either to plant seeds or to pick the fruit. Now it's up to you to recognize who these people are. I travel some 200 days a year leaving my family to speak to young people. I'm not here to waste your time. I ain't never met an audience that wasted my time. I'm here to plant seeds. Now, I don't know who you are, what you might be going through, whether it be yesterday, today, tomorrow. But I'll tell you something, one thing that I do know is we live within four walls. And within four walls, life is not perfect. We deal with expectations, stress, anxiety. We deal with addiction, blended families, abuse, this, that. I'm going to share something with you today that's going to resonate with you in some way. I don't know. But I'll tell you, if you get something out of my talk today, it's because you have a growth mindset, not such a fixed mindset. I'm not a smart man, and the last thing I ever want to do is lecture. But I ask that question almost every day. Who's the hardest person to get to know? We say ourselves. And so as a parent, a teacher, coach, a significant, trusted adult in your life, my question to you is, at what point will you figure that out? And I hope that's here today now. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't even begin to tell you how honored I am to have come into your school about an hour and a half ago to meet some of the people and teachers. I'm honored to be here. I'm excited. And I don't have to say that for 27 years, traveling 49 countries. This is a special place. But I know with being a special place, there's high expectations and high pressure. You're being pushed so hard. My question is, for what? Ladies and gentlemen, get to know who you are. Be comfortable with who you are. And learn to be comfortable with who you are not. You know, I can stand here all day and tell you, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're strong, you're capable, you have the ability. But you know what bothers me the most? I can say this, but if you don't believe it yourself, my words don't mean anything. You've got to learn to wake up every day and validate yourself. And I think we're growing up in a time where we're waiting for parents that, hey, I love you, teachers, oh, good job, I'm proud of you. We're waiting for coaches, hey, good hustle, man. But you know as well as that, we're 24/7, 365. You have to validate you. You've got to wake up and look in the mirror and see something special. And if you're waiting for people to validate you, you're going to live a life of great disappointment. Ladies and gentlemen, not everybody is going to like you. But you have to like yourself. I think people ask me quite often, hey Jeff, you've been talking to young people a long time. What do you think is the number one thing that we need to give young people? I don't hesitate, I say self-esteem. I think self-esteem is the most important. And understand, people will tear you up, people will try and bring you down. A month ago, you can't make this up, slightly inappropriate, but stay with me, I'll talk to you like I do my own children. I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. A month ago, I had to get on a plane to go to Buffalo, New York to do one of these talk thingies. And I get off the plane to Charlotte, and I had to pee so bad. That's the inappropriate part. People prefer I say urinate. But it doesn't make sense that I say, I got off the plane and I had to urinate so bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you, I got off that plane. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I was like, where's the bathroom? I see the bathroom, I walk in, and there's nobody in there. So right away, I'm thinking, I don't know, is it open, is it closed, are they cleaning, what? I don't care. I walk in, I go all the way over to the very far urinal. Folks, you can't make this up. And so I walk up to the urinal, and I haven't figured out exactly what to say there. I'm peeing. And it's nice and quiet. I'm thinking to myself, I'm alone. This is nice. It's like home. All of a sudden, in that peripheral vision, I see this older gentleman walk in. And I notice that he's getting closer. Folks, I know I was there. And the dude walks up to the urinal right next to mine. I know. My flow stopped. I'm like, I get stage fright. I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, what you don't do this. Then the dude looks at me. I know. And he says to me, I would never hire you. And I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, what I haven't told you yet is I'm a man that lives with mental illness. And I'm proud to say that. I'm diagnosed with major depression, bipolar type 2, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Why is that important? Let me tell you why. At that moment, this dude judges me. I wanted to snap. Like, when you react, and I think a lot of times we react based on emotion. You get yourself in trouble, you regret it. As a man who lives with mental illness and being in therapy for so long, I've learned to live by something as simple as just the 4 T's. Take time to think. I wanted to step off that urinal, this dude's judging me. I wanted to face him. I wanted to windmill scissor kick him in the mouth. I wanted to do that. But again, like, if you go home from school this weekend and your little brother hits you, you're going to jack him up. And then your parents are going to yell at you, Mommy, hit me first! Because when you're the older sibling, you know better. That's nothing fair! So I felt, folks, I deserve an ending. Because I ignored him, I'm just like, let it go. Let it go. I go over to the sink and I'm washing my hands, because you should do that. Said weird freak guy comes over and he's washing, he looks at me again and he says, your tattoos are very unprofessional. I'm like, oh no, you didn't. I deserve an Emmy, I'm telling you, I'm proud of me. I ignored him again, I walk away. Here I am sharing. You know what I like about this? You know what I like about this story? This guy is no different than me and you. You ever notice that as we're trying to get to know ourselves, we judge people based on the little bit that we think we know about them. You want to know why? Because you haven't really yet looked at yourself yet. As a man that is proud to admit that he lives with mental illness, I'll tell you why. Because things start to change a little bit. Your perception, your perspective, You ever been disappointed? Sure. But have you ever wondered where disappointment comes from? Expectations. And being in such a school, high-performance school, you every day, the stress that you're putting on you, parents, the expectations, teachers, peer-to-peer. And so these expectations aren't met. You become disappointed. You know what I've come to learn? Let's replace disappointment and expectations with appreciation. The objective. Because now you're in control. I get in late last night. I wake up this morning, yep, it's Friday, I'm a little bit tired. I pull into school a little bit early. I'm like, okay, let's have a great day. Have a great day. The first thing I noticed when I walked in is there's a lady outside. Hi, I'm Jeff, your speaker. Nice to meet you. And I'm talking to her. She says, I'm the principal. Oh, whoa, okay. And I said to her, why are you out here? So So we had a nice conversation. Let me tell you what I noticed. As we talked for 15 minutes, she interrupted our conversation every time to say good morning. Good morning. Good morning. To you. And you know what I noticed? You? Very few of you were present to see what was happening. I wake up every morning about an hour early because as a man that lives with mental illness, I can wake up and my stress, my anxiety, think about it. From 1 very low, 10 very high, where are you? And I need young people that are doing real well. A 7, 8, 9, 20, 20. Jeff, I cry every day. And another Jeff, I cry every day too. If I came to your school today, and I'm at a 7, 8, 9, how present can I be? And so I have to wake up every day to bring my emotions from a 7, 8, 9 down to like a 2 or 3, so that if something happens, I'm not going to react. I'm going to be like, breathe, it will be okay. Take time to think. I meditate. I visualize affirmations. You want to know why? Because emotionally, I don't want the day to own me. I am going to own the day. And I want you to own your life. I don't want life to start to own you. Let me ask you another question. Tonight, Friday night, don't answer, just think it to yourself. You go home, 11 o'clock at night, you go into your bedroom. You put on your pajamas and get ready for bed. You walk across the hallway into the bathroom, you open the door, you shut the door behind you, you're all alone. You take toothpaste, you put it on the toothbrush, you're brushing your teeth, you look in the mirror. Here's the question. Ladies and gentlemen, that reflection looks back in the mirror. Do you see a person as beautiful on the inside as the whole world sees you on the outside? Now, normally I have someone up on stage and I ask them, and probably 90% of the time, the answer is no. Because as we're growing up and we're trying to find out who we are, we look in the mirror and we spend too much time looking at how we look. What are people going to think? Am I going to get accepted? What people are judging me? If I could plant any seed to you today, I would want to encourage you to spend more time looking at who you are. And every day you take care of who you are and how you look. I promise you, take care of yourself. You're working so hard. Hey, do good in school, go to college, you did a good job, we're stressed out. But at the end, it's like, for what? 6 years ago, I went through probably the hardest. I wish this on nobody. I was married to the most beautiful woman in the world for 17 years. High school English teacher, student council advisor, theater director, yearbook editor. She came to school every morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And she was that trusted adult. You're like, good morning, Miss Yalden. When we got engaged, her best friend said to me, Mrs. Jeff, you're taking the most beautiful woman off the market. I said, I know. 6 years ago, we went through a divorce. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it would have been easy for me to blame it on her, blame it on family, blame it on money, blame it on this, blame it on that. And I think when we're young and we're trying to figure ourselves out, we do that. But I found myself one day I was looking in the mirror. It's never been a very favorable, fun place for me. When I looked in the mirror, I said to myself, what did I have to do with this marriage not working out? And that was the moment that I realized that my mental illness was much greater than I ever respected it to be. And that was the moment when I said, you know what? Nothing changes if nothing changes. Enough is enough. And that's when I went on a journey of getting to know who I am. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. I don't like telling you this, but you're not a victim in life. I don't know what you've you've been through. But I think number one, in taking responsibility, you're not a victim to the situation, the circumstances, the conditions. You're not. I want you, as you journey, to be a victor. I think that's a mindset. If you look in the mirror and you don't like that reflection, don't blame it on the mirror. It just means you got to spend more time there. I'm not a victim to being a man that lives with mental illness. Hey, listen, I got it about 1 in the morning. What are you thinking? Oh, Jeff, just do the best you can. It might not be your fault. I get it. You're a teenager. You're young. I don't think it is. We're growing. We're learning. But it's your responsibility. It's my responsibility, not my fault, to live, not my fault mental illness, but my responsibility to live a healthy life. I'm 48 years old. Are you listening? Thank you, my friend. I'm a 48-year-old fat, bald guy, and I get to come and be a part of your life, and you're choosing to listen. That's about being present. That's about being out there this morning with your principal as you guys are just walking in, and we're not even aware of our surroundings or having a little appreciation of who's out there saying good morning, welcome, I care about you, you can trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, I think one of the most important things is I want you to be present in life. I want you to be engaged in life. I want you to focus on learning and growing, not getting an A and forget. I want you to every single day see the seeds that are planted. I'm feeling good now. I'm honored to be here. You're not a victim. Let's not be bitter. Let's not be angry. But every day choose to become better. But not at the expense of the stress and the anxiety, because it's destroying you. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to judge me. I just started 2 weeks ago today telling the story. Let me tell you how. My wife, Marcia, who I'm talking about for 17 years. Love her dearly. We still have a good relationship, great relationship. Matter of fact, my brother-in-law is still my accountant. Marcia called me on Friday 2 weeks ago at 9 in the morning to tell me that her significant other, John, loved the guy, great guy, died in his sleep. And I remember just like, I cried with her on the phone. About an hour later, I had to go speak, and I was like, I can't do this. It triggered an emotion. I was not in a good place in my heart. I could have quit. I could have called. They would have understood. They said, listen, I can't do it. But I'll tell you something. When the going gets tough, I think the tough got to face. Don't avoid things in life. Face them head on. And I went and did that talk, probably the greatest talk I've ever done. I shared what happened, and then I dealt with life. When I was doing that talk, I said this to the audience, and I'm going to say this to you, and you're going to judge me. I'm okay with that. Because, ladies and gentlemen, nobody has judged me more than I've judged me. Matter of fact, I hate myself for what I'm about to tell you. When I was married to Marcia, on the day that she came home from having a full hysterectomy, she had 30 days bed rest. No driving, no work, no cleaning, no cooking, nothing. On the day I brought her home is the day that I left her. I'm sorry. Someone said to me recently, says, Jeff, why? The only thing I can think is that I was probably not very healthy then. I was abused as a child. My wife, Marcia, who I'm talking about so wonderfully, you know, in 17 years, she's never seen me speak. My parents are both alcoholics. My father has never told me he's proud of me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's okay. Because you only know what you know. And therefore you can only do what you have learned. And if you're not present with a growth mindset, you can't do because you've got a fixed mindset. You're not learning. And I'll tell you something, getting to know who you are, you ever say something you wish you didn't say? You ever do something you wish you didn't do? We're not perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. But we look at people and we hold them to a standard that is greater than the standard you hold yourself. Why? Because you don't have the courage to look at you yet. Spend that time getting to know you. I've spent a lot of time in my life asking for forgiveness. I've gone to everyone I think I know I have hurt. I've called them, I visited them, I messaged them, I texted them. Hey, listen, you remember when this happened? I've learned so much about me. I want to take responsibility. I want to ask you to forgive me. Most people have. Some people haven't. And that's okay. Because you can't change people, places, and things. But you wake up every day and you've got the beautiful power to just change you. And I think it's forgiveness. Because when you can learn to forgive those people that have crossed you, because you can see you're not perfect, that releases so much that you can just, your potential, and that just, it becomes more clear. But I think, you know who the hardest person is to forgive? Yourself. But you're not a victim. I tell my kids, you know what? It's not your fault, I get it, but your responsibility, you know what that is? Simple. You wake up, you get up, you dress up, you show up. That's it. That's half the battle of life. But there are many of you who can't even do that right. I'm not generalizing, I'm not picking on you. We show up late, we're not prepared. We forget this, we forget that. You go to bed with your phone, notifications go off in the middle of the night, takes you out of that mug before sleep, and you're like, OMG, she said, oh, SMH, he did. Oh no, group text, you see what's going on? It's going down tomorrow. Oh yeah. And then you come downstairs with very little sleep and your parents like, good morning, honey. And you're like, shut up forever. Half of that, you wake up, get up, dress up, show up. That's half. The other half, three things, my friends, your attitude, your choices, your behavior. I used to hate talking to kids about attitude until I realized I'm a man that lives with mental illness. And so I wake up every day so that I can do what I need to do myself there to own the day. And as I go about owning the day, I don't have the expectations, I find the appreciation. Are you listening? Thanks, my friend. Thanks for letting me be a part of your life. You know, sometimes we go through life, self-esteem, I'll share with you something. And we show up late, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If you didn't turn in your homework, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If someone's low, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. How about changing it to validating and appreciating them? Hey, thanks for being patient. Hey, listen, thanks for waiting. Hey, thank you for giving me like an extra day. I'll turn it right away. Hey, thank you for recognizing that, noticing that. When you validate others, it comes back to you. But when you are telling people to validate you, that's a lack of self-esteem. Make it about others. Appreciate that. And then you know what? It's wake up, get up, dress up, show up. Your attitude, choice, and behavior. And then you know what? You brush your teeth, you wash your face, you do your dance, and you put one foot in front of the other every single. That's you do that. That's Ivy League, baby. That's Ivy League. Very few people recognize the simplicity we overcomplicate it. Now, I'm not a smart man. Who am I, though? I graduated high school 128 out of 133 students. I was rejected by 16 of the 19 colleges that I applied to. Grew up with a learning disability, stutter, twitch, ADD, ADHD, ABC, MOUSE. When I was gifted with a lot, I didn't know then, but I'm aware of who I am now. I only wish I knew a little bit then. But folks, it's part of growth, man. I was a three-sport all-state varsity athlete. I played football, basketball, baseball. I was heavily recruited to play Division I football until one day. I had to take these SATs. Test. Well, I scored so poorly on that exam that I was academically ineligible to go to college to play college sports. As I look back, that was the moment that my self-esteem plummeted. As I look back, I think it was about me. Where am I going to go? Am I smart enough? Am I capable? And you know what I did wrong? I had a chip on my shoulder. I pushed away the messengers like maybe some of us do. We push away our teachers. We push away our parents and coaches. You don't know me. You don't walk in my shoes. You ain't never been where I've been. You got to see what Had I just listened to that wisdom and experience, maybe someone would have said, hey, don't you? Listen, you can still go to school. First semester, prove yourself. You might be able to walk on. Or first year, prove yourself. Next year, things could change. I didn't listen. And on the night that I graduated from high school, my mom and dad kicked me out of the house. How could parent responsibility? I kind of look back and I think, I probably would have kicked me out too. You want to know why? My attitude, my choices, behavior. Folks, it's that simple. You wake up, positive attitude, positive behavior. At the end of the day, probably positive outcome. If we wake up, bad attitude, bad behavior. At the end of the day, honey, how was school today? It sucked. Well, did it suck, or maybe your attitude needed to change a little bit? Folks, you're smart people. My attitude sucked. Choice, behavior. I found myself walking the streets of New York with a chip on my shoulder. And I honestly thought that if I could just meet a girl and marry her, that maybe she would take care of me. And so at 18 years old, I met a girl and I married her. At 19 years old, we have a child. We bring a child into the world. I'm a child bringing in a child. I can't even babysit a cactus. I'm bringing a child into the world. And there are still people, hey Jeff, listen, let's think about this. You don't have to do that. Consider this, consider. No, I'm a man, no. Got to take care of my family. I'm not listening to anybody. I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. I want to show you how fast life happens. Like that. I was 20 years old. I was in the Gulf War. I was there for 2 weeks. One night, 3 o'clock in the morning, we're on patrol. Just walking the streets. And ladies and gentlemen, like that, a roadside bomb goes off. 2 Marines were killed. We fly home stateside. 38 Marines, top of the plane, 2 Marines underneath in a beautiful flag draped coffin. I wasn't ready for that. And ladies and gentlemen, I remember sitting where you're sitting, looking out into my future. And I remember you had these dreams, you had these fears. Am I going to go to college? What am I going to study? What am I ever going to do? Am I capable? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, relax. I promise you it's going to be okay. The journey of life is not a race. It's a journey, and we're all on our own path. On February 26, 1992, I'm stationed in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, at the Cecil Field Naval Air Station. At 7:30 in the morning, all the Marines are lined up at the armory getting their weapons. We have formation inspection. And so I'm walking down my side of the house. Hey, gentlemen, let's go. Grab your weapons. Let's get out there. Don't be late. When what was about to happen, I would never have imagined. Life changing. Third door, left-hand side, room 206. The door slightly cracked. And so I walked in that room, and one of my Marines is sitting about 7 feet away in the middle chair with the chair on either side. As I looked at him, he looked at me, and there was like I looked through him, like he wasn't there. I said to him, his iceberg, let's go, grab your weapon, let's get out there. And his gaze pierced through my eyes. He said to me, "Call me up, nobody cares about me." And I remember I looked at him and I said, "I care about you." He takes a 9mm off of his lap, M16, leaning up against the other chair. He slowly starts bringing it up. As he looked at me in my eyes, I looked at him in his eyes. He said, "Maybe you're the only one." And he pulled the trigger. And they didn't let me leave that room until 9 p.m. that night. I live with this every day. I feel it, I see it, I hear it, I taste it every single day. But in 27 years of asking for help and being in therapy and looking at myself in the mirror and being on medication, I've come to learn something as I tell you, you're not a victim, you're a victor. This did not happen to me. It happened. And I want to be sensitive. Ladies and gentlemen, life does not happen to you. Life happens for you. Because everything we go through shapes you. Everything you go through teaches you. You become your character. You become a better classmate, a better friend, a better student, a better athlete, a better son, a better daughter, a better boyfriend, a better girlfriend. If you're not the victim, but you're the victor, let's not be bitter. Let's not be angry. Choose to become better. And so you judge me, I judge me because of what I did. But now we start to see the big picture. And we start to understand that everybody here has a story. Don't let your story define you. You take care of you and you write a whole new story. But it's okay to not be perfect. I've come to look at life as like one big giant quilt. All of us. Different grades, different colors, shapes, sizes, fabrics, pieces, all woven together to make one. But self-esteem says, how do I fit in this puzzle here? 22 years old, I have my second child. 23 years old, I lost everything. And I still didn't open my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have people in your life, people that you trust, that you respect, people whose opinions you value, go to them. I didn't do that. Every morning you have a principal of 2,000. Folks, you don't know because you haven't been there. I've been in over 4,000 schools. Rarely does a principal have time to stand out there and say hi. And so if you are present, good morning, nice to see you. Hi, how are you? You might be able to come up and be like, oh, I'm tired today. And there's a trusted adult. Oh, you know something? We're all tired. But you're going to have a good day. Thanks. I hope you have a good day, too. Then all of a sudden, it's like, we don't talk today. You want to know why? You can watch my TED Talk about it. We spend too much time on our device. I don't want to go here, but I'm gonna a little bit. My book is all about this. Folks, if you spend more than 4 or 5 hours a day on your smartphone, you're 70% more likely to have major depression in your life. They say the safe zone is 1 to 2 hours a day. It's not your fault, though, but I'll tell you, this technology, which isn't going away and is a great thing, education is basically free. It's producing a lot of distress and anxiety. Here's what I want you, if you put it down a little bit, that's it, go to sleep without your phone. A great thing. Because here, this is having a negative effect on our mental well-being. If we put it down a little bit and we engage in conversation, coping skills, problem-solving skills, agree to disagree, you're more empathetic, compassionate. These are life skills that will never change that first impression. You know, one one of the things I was so inspired about this morning, I got to meet many kids. The handshake. They looked me in the eye, I looked them in the eye. Oh, you guys, you get it. That's a special place, my friends. But you have to be present to be able to recognize this. But as a result of me, when I was your age, attitude, choice, and behavior, here's what happened. 10 years ago, the mother of my daughters calls me. I'm in Michigan. And she says, "Are you free?" I says, "No." She says, "Why?" I said, "I'm speaking to kids today." And their mom said, "You might want to make yourself free." I just dropped your daughters off at the airport. And unless you want them to be homeless, you need to find them a one-way ticket. They're no longer welcome in my family anymore. Within about 3.5 hours of me getting that phone call, I get on a plane, I arrive at Dayton International Airport. I get off that plane, I walk in front of the airport, sitting on the other side of the airport. My 2 daughters are sitting on a bench. They had 3 black trash bags to their name. That's it. They had no money. They had no cell phone. They barely had hope. Ladies and gentlemen, don't ever lose hope. Don't ever lose hope. Within your 4 walls, life is not perfect. That's okay. Your past is not your future. You can learn to deal with that, accept it, see if you're part of the problem, and you can stay focused on you write your story. That night I ran over to my girls and I gave them a great big hug and I said, "Babes, it's going to be okay." Sometimes you just got to breathe. When I told them they would be okay, you think I knew that it would be okay. They said, "I don't know you, but I'll tell you, if you do the work every day, you're present, you're engaged, your attitude, choices, behavior, brush your teeth, wash your face, do your dance, one foot in front of the other, show up. There ain't nothing you can't do. Nothing." So my daughters came in the world victims because of Daddy. They rose up to be victorious. I'm proud of them. They have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. They recognize the seeds are being planted and people come pick the fruit, they walk away, and we spend so much time, "When people walking out?" If people want to walk out on you, let them go. Sometimes we just wallow in self-pity. "Oh, woe is me," you know. 4 years ago, I was invited to be a legal guardian of 2 biracial boys. Their mother died unexpectedly. She was 36 years old. And so these boys would be raised by their grandparents, and Grandma and Grandpa just asked me one day if I could be a big brother. Little did I know these boys were going to come live with me. Jordan was going in the 8th grade. He was 12, 13 years old at the time. Great kid. We're talking about someone going to West Point. He's waiting on his acceptance to Annapolis right now. Love that kid, man. Go to bed every night, got his phone. Wake up, his alarm clock. You get in the shower, I'm walking down the hall, he's singing, I'm laughing, he sucked at singing. But you know what I like? He's creating his mood. He's creating the day, not letting the day own him. And I don't know what it is about waffles. You guys like waffles too much. He'd come downstairs, he'd take the frozen waffles out of the freezer, he'd put them in the toaster, push the toaster down, waffles 2 minutes later, they pop up. He'd take the waffles out of the toaster, put them on a plate, take the syrup, pour all over the kitchen counter, and accidentally spill some on his waffles. How the hell are you missing waffles? I raised girls, but you boys, you're different, you can't pee. You guys walk in the bathroom and you're like, "Hey, what's that? This Curry 3-pointer. I'm short. Then your parents like, "Honey," and you're like, "What, Mom? No!" I used to buy Cheerios for the boys. I'm like, "Pee on the shake the Cheerios." What? You can't pee standing up? Well, then sit. Sit and pee. Guys, this is crazy. I want to tell you about Josh. Josh was going to the 9th grade. He was 15 years old. And from the age of 1 to 3 years old, he was sexually abused by his father. Ladies and gentlemen, the father will never leave prison. This young man couldn't even sleep in his own room at night. Every night he'd come in the room, pillow and blanket, he'd say, "Mr. Jeff, can I sleep?" And so every night he'd sleep on the floor right next to my bed. We get up in the morning, I said, Josh, grab your pillow, blanket, go back to your room, make your bed. He never understood why I never negotiated. One thing I learned in the Marine Corps is you make your bed every day. Psychologically, it does something that says, I did something. You haven't even left your room yet, and you feel like, what's next? I got it. This young man couldn't even take a shower, he'd only take a bath. He tried to take his life twice, and one of my greatest fears is when he tried again, and Mom died. Now I have it. 5 days before school was starting, Joshua was coming out of the hospital where he spent 8 weeks that summer in a child psychiatric hospital. And on the day that he's coming out, we had decided that instead of coming out and going to grandparents to come to me, why don't we just take this away and we come right to me. And so we're at dinner that night. Myself, Grandma, Grandpa, Jordan, Josh. I said to the boys, what do you want to do this year? Tell me one thing. I'll do everything I can to make sure that we do that. I said, give me one bucket last night. Jordan, 7th grade, 8th grade, a little quiet. He's like, no. I said, how about you, Josh? Just coming out of the hospital. He's like, I want to play football. I said, why don't you play football? What if I don't make the team? So I wouldn't worry about that then, Josh. I said, but you know what? You're fast, you're strong. You know what these coaches want? They want kids like you that are fast, that are strong, that hustle, that are selfless, that put the team first, that are coachable, and they show up every day. I said, Josh, if you do that, I have no doubt that you're going to make that team. And so my job over the next 4 or 5 days was to build this confidence to be greater than his fear. You might be smart and go into great places, but if your fear is stronger than your confidence, you'll always be, well, what if I don't make the team? What if she says no? What if I get rejected? What if people laugh? That's why I'll tell you, you tell me I got how much time? That's it? Okay. Now if I say to you, what is your why has to be greater than any excuse you can make. We can all make excuses. Bottom line is this. Josh showed up at the first day football. He made the team. None of you knew his story. But for the first time in his life, you made him feel like he belonged. He sat in the meetings, he wore the uniform, he didn't play. But I want to leave you with this. One day, just took one day. I can tell you you're smart and beautiful all day long, 100 times. But if one person says something negative, you remember that one thing. Josh came home one day and his senior captain told him that he should just go home, do the whole team a favor and kill himself. They called the coach that night. We go sit down with the family. You know why the player said it? He said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I was just kidding. I learned about grace, one of my favorite words. Grace is when you take that love and compassion in your heart and combine with power and strength in your belly. And you combine the two in the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you act, the way you present yourself. I looked at that young man and I said, I understand, I'm not upset with you, I get it. I shook his hand, I said, thank you for being honest. He said, Mom, Dad, you got a fine young man. And I said to Josh, I go home that night, I said, Josh, I talked to Coach tonight. I said, you know why we forgive people? I said, not for them, Josh, but for ourselves. I said, let's pick ourselves up, let's go back out there tomorrow, because I knew we'd take him under his wing. Goes to school, someone said something else to him in a text and told me to come pick him up. Josh would never walk in that football field ever again. Every day, the fear. He walked through school and you laughed at him because he was different. You laughed at him because he was developmentally delayed. You laughed at him because he was a quitter. You laughed at him because he was black. And all he ever wanted was the same thing you and I want. Just to be accepted. Ladies and gentlemen, not everybody is going to accept you. But that should not change your acceptance for yourself. I'm honored to be a part of your life. I'm on social media at Jeff Yalden. I want you guys to take care of you. Every day, self-care. Because you can't pour from an empty pitcher. You take care of you. The world is your oyster. You guys are great. Thank you for having me. Take care.
chair 183, also the lecture hall room, during lunch day if you have any questions or you want any one-on-one time with him. So feel free to come by the lecture hall during lunch today if you want to talk to him. Hello everybody, I'm Liam. I'm the other SGA co-president this year. And as we bring this year's SGA Spring Project to an end, I'd like to introduce you all to the organization we will be donating to this year. Every year our SGA donates to a nonprofit organization aligned with our Spring Project theme. This year, I'm proud to say that organization is You Matter. As you all heard in your English class presentations, You Matter, spelled in the text shorthand UMTTR, is a mental health awareness organization dedicated to raising awareness for teen depression and cultivating a community where all teens and everyone feels they matter. You Matter was founded in 2013 when a fellow Montgomery County student took his own life. In wake of Evan Rosenstock's death, his family and friends came together to create You Matter. Today, nearly 7 years after its founding, You Matter continues its belief that by researching and drawing attention to mental health, we can empower and uplift one another to end teen suicide. In addition to being a locally funded organization, You Matter is a founding member of Michelle Obama's Campaign to Change Direction in Mental Health, a major proponent of the Sources of Strength program, and has organized partnerships with the National Association of Mental Illness, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the Positive Coaching Alliance, among others. When we contacted You Matter earlier this year about donating a few $1,000s, I came to meet one of the founders, Evan's mother, Sue. And after meeting her and interacting with her a few times, I realized that Sue is really a champion for teens and for mental health. And so that's why when I asked her if she'd come here today, she said she'd be really excited, except for she would be in Los Angeles with You Matter. So instead of being here today, she said that she was going to make a video. So I'd like if we could all turn our attention to this screen up here and see some words that she has to share with us today.
Hey, Wootton Patriot! Sue Rosenstock, co-founder of You Matter here, to tell you a little bit about us. We started the organization, actually it was 4 of my son's friends who came to me after he lost his life to suicide and said that if this happened to Evan, this could happen to anyone. And we're scared. We want to be able to do something. So we had a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, which then sprang into continuous research and finding of peer-led, evidence-based programs. And thank you for your support and choosing to donate your class funds this year to You Matter, because we'll use those funds to put posters of the 5 signs and the 5 healthy habits into all of Montgomery County schools. So I want to let you know the 5 signs for emotional well-being are to take care, check in, engage, relax, and know 5 signs that someone might be suffering, which is a personality change, agitation, withdrawn, poor self-care, and hopelessness. So if you see that in yourself or someone else, you want to reach out, you want to connect, you want to offer help and give hope. Speak to a trusted adult. So I just wanted to let you know that I could not be there today because we are participating in the LA Marathon with a cheer zone, along with the Positive Coaching Alliance in LA, as well as the Campaign to Change Direction in Mental Health, who has a team of runners. So go Patriots and make it a great day. Always remember that you matter. And someone at the back of the room, I think, has some goodies for you. Enjoy, and always remember, you matter.
Thank you all very much. Can we have another round of applause to our guest speaker? For having this wonderful week of wellness. At this time, we are dismissed. The SGA SGA will be posted in the back to give you a little parting gift. You all have a great day and thank you for being an amazing audience. On behalf of the SGA, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our assembly, culminating this week's activities from the SGA bringing to you about wellness. This week, the SGA has done a very great job in terms of raising our wellness about wellness and also planning activities and those lessons in order to have us understand the importance of being well and taking care of ourselves. I'd like to begin by thanking the SGA and all the SGA members. If you could please stand. Please stand. And if you could please give our SGA a round of applause. Thank you, SGA. Thank you. This week's activities. Thank you. All right, sit down now. That's good. Okay. This week's activities comes after really months of planning in order to bring to you a thoughtful, well-planned week during our spring in order to raise our awareness about wellness. So once again, I want to thank the SGA for all of their hard work and efforts in that regard. So today, the culminating event is we have a fabulous guest speaker, Mr. Yalden, who will be speaking with us very shortly, momentarily. But first, I would like to introduce Erin Lazar, who will be giving our opening remarks.
Good morning, Wootton. My name is Erin Lazar, and I am one of your Student Government Association presidents. Throughout the past few months, the SGA has worked tirelessly to create this year's spring project, which revolved around wellness. From our very first Wellness Day in the fall, all the displays and activities in the Commons, the presentations in your English classes, to today's assembly, we thank you all for being so engaged and respectful throughout the entirety of the week. While we understand that wellness is hard and uncomfortable to talk about, it is too important not to be addressed. We hope you learned a lot this week and have gained insight on life lessons that you can take with you throughout the rest of your lives. To wrap up our project, we have a very special guest speaker here to talk to you all today. Teen suicide prevention expert, author, and youth motivation speaker Jeff Yalden is award-winning, internationally acclaimed, and is known to literally change lives. I am very excited to be able to introduce him to you all today. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Jeff Yalden.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Speaking is actually something that's very hard for me. I don't stand behind the lectern and read off of the script. I struggle with anxiety. I want you to understand, I don't have a lot of time. I don't know why you think you're here, whether it be mental health, mental illness, suicide, motivation, drugs, alcohol. I want you to know that I'm here to talk about life. Ladies and gentlemen, lives are going to change this morning. Lives are going to change this morning. I also want you to understand that people come into your life for one of two reasons. People either come to plant seeds or people come to pick the fruit. And I think it's important that you get to understand what people come into your life for. And if they come to plant seeds, that's good. If they're going to pick the fruit and walk away, let them go. I ain't never come to speak at an audience. I'm a man that lives with mental illness. I'm diagnosed with major depression, bipolar, type 2, post-traumatic stress disorder. And I'm proud to tell you that. 6 years ago, I went through a divorce. I was married to the most beautiful woman in the world. 17 years. High school English teacher, student council advisor, yearbook editor. She was that teacher who came to school every day, good morning, boys and girls, and she was that trusted adult. Hi, Miss Yalden. I think one of the most important things we have in life is relationships. Well, I remember when we first got engaged, the best friend said to me, Jeff, you're taking the most beautiful woman off the market. I said, I know. For 17 years, we were married, and 6 years ago, we went through a divorce. I want to tell you why I tell you. It would have been easy for me to blame it on her, blame it on family, blame it on money, blame it on this, blame it on that. And I think sometimes when we're young and we're trying to get to know who we are, we do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll never forget that day when I found myself standing in front of the mirror. That's never been a place that I've enjoyed. And I looked in the mirror that one day and I said, what did I have to do? This marriage not working out, and that was the moment when that reflection said that my mental illness was much greater than I ever respected it to be. I think I also said at that moment, I said, you know what, I get it. I saw that I was part of the problem in situations in my life. Like, enough is enough. Folks, in life, nothing changes if nothing changes. Now, as I get to plant seeds for you today, I want to answer this question. Don't answer it, just think it to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, who's the hardest person to get to know? Ourselves. I ask that every day. Most everybody says the exact same thing. Ourselves, me, us. Well, at what point are you going to start to figure that out? And I want that to be now. Ladies and gentlemen, for 27 years, I've been speaking to young people, teenagers, parents, teachers, mental health professionals, coaches, college athletics, professional athletes, and families. And people quite often, hey Jeff, what do you think is the most important thing that we need to give young people? I don't even hesitate, I say self-esteem. And as a parent, as a teacher, as a coach, I'll tell you, hey, you're smart, you're strong, you're beautiful, you're capable, you can do this and you can. But I say all day long, if you don't believe those words yourself, my words don't mean anything. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go through life and you're waiting for people to validate you, you're going to be really disappointed. You got to wake up every day and validate yourself. If you look in the mirror and you don't like that reflection that looks back, don't blame it on the mirror. It means you just got to spend more time there. You got to want to spend more time there. I'll ask you a question I ask almost every day too. Let's say tonight, Friday night, you go home, 11 o'clock at night, you go to the bedroom, you put on your pajamas, you get ready for bed. You walk across the hall, walk into the bathroom, you shut the door behind you. You take toothpaste, you put it in the toothbrush. You brush your teeth, you look in the mirror, you're all alone. My question to you is this. When you look in the mirror, and that reflection looks back, do you see a person as beautiful on the inside as the whole world we see you on the outside? Probably 90% of the time I ask that question, the answer is no, I don't know. And I hate that question because it exposes the truth. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you something. You can't grow as a person unless that truth is exposed. And if I can plant the seed, stop looking in the mirror every day, looking at how you look. How's my hair? How's my clothes? What are people going to think? People are judging me. I just want to be accepted. If you could spend time... Folks, I came here this morning early. You go to a special school. I've been over 4,000 schools. I don't just say this. I don't need to anymore. But I'll tell you, I was impressed. First thing this morning, about an hour before all you got here, you go to a special school. I want you to be able to wake up in the direction, the journey of this life that you're going. You're going to do good things. But I want you to stop spending so much time looking at how you look and learn to spend more time looking at who you are. Because I promise, when you take care of who you are, how you look takes care of yourself. 2 weeks ago, I shared this story for the first time. I'm about to tell you something and you're going to judge me, and that's okay. Because folks say nobody has judged me more than I've judged me. But as a man who lives with mental illness, I've come to learn a lot along the way. 2 Fridays ago, my wife, Patriot, who I'm talking about, calls me one morning. We still have a great relationship. We love her dearly. But we just, I learned a lot about me. She learned a lot about me. We went our own way. My brother-in-law, her brother's still my accountant. She calls me Friday morning 2 weeks ago, and she told me that her significant other, John, great guy, he died in his sleep last night. I remember just like that triggered just cried with diapers. Now I have to go to a talk in an hour. And I can't do it. I just can't do it. But when the going gets tough, man, the going's going to get tough. You got to be able to pick yourself up and rise up. And ladies and gentlemen, I went and did that talk, and it's I shared what happened. It was one of the best talks. I was present. You got to be present in life. It was one of the best talks ever. And I shared with that audience the first time. I said, ladies and gentlemen, on the day that my wife came home from having a full hysterectomy, on the day she came home, she had 30 days bed rest. No cooking, no cleaning, no driving, no working, no nothing. 30 days in bed, taking it easy. On the day she came home is the day that I left her. I'm sorry. The person I committed to, my number one, on the day she needed me more than anything is the day I walked out. I don't know why. I only think I wasn't healthy. But you know something? You ever say something you wish you didn't say? Yeah. You ever do something you wish you didn't do? Absolutely. And why is it that we look at other people and we hold them to the standard that is greater than the standard you're holding yourself to? Because you don't have the courage to look at you yet. I want all of you to take some time to get to know yourself. People have crossed you, they've said things, they've done things, you've done things. You can't take back words, you can't take back time. But you know something? I spent a lot of time going to people that I've hurt because I've been part of the problem, and I've asked for forgiveness. Most people have forgiven me. Some people haven't, and that's okay. Because I'll tell you, you can't change people, you can't change places, you can't change things. Every single day I wake up and I look to try and just change me and be the best man that I can be. And that's all that matters to me now. Ask for forgiveness. I think sometimes the person you got to most forgive is yourself. And folks, not everyone's going to like you. You spend too much time worrying about being accepted. You got to accept yourself. A month ago, I lived in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I get on a plane, I got to go to Buffalo to do one of these talk thingies. I get off in Charlotte, I get off the plane, I had to pee so bad. No, I did. People get offended, like, oh, you should say urinate, stop peeing. But it doesn't make sense. Well, I get off the plane, I had to urinate so bad. Ladies, I got pee. I'm looking for the men's room. Oh, there it is. I go in, nobody's there. And I walk in, I'm like, oh, I go all the way to the far urinal. And I'm like, urinating and I'm like, oh, this matches like home. All of a sudden, this older gentleman walks in. And I'm like, this is good. He comes up to the urinal right next to me. I know, I was there. Yeah, I was there. And I'm like, dude, you don't do that. I'm like, why? Totally breaks the protocol. what? Then he looks at me. And he says to me, he says, I would never hire you. And I'm like, did I tell you I had bipolar type? I did tell you, that's important. Ladies and gentlemen, he judged me. I'm like, oh no, you didn't. I wanted to snap, step off that urinal, windmill scissor, kick him in the mouth. But had I done that, I would have urinated on him. I would have urinated on me. I would have urinated all. Here's the point. Sometimes we react based on emotion. As a man that's been in therapy for 20 years and practices self-care, one of the best things that's ever helped me, 4 T's. Take time to think. I ignored him. I go to the sink, I'm washing my hands, because you should do that. Said weird freak guy comes over, he's washing his hands, and he looks at me again and he says, your tattoo's very unprofessional. I'm like, oh no, you not too tight. Oh. I deserve an Emmy for how I handled this. I ignored him again. So here I am a month later sharing with you this. You know what I like about this guy? The reality is he's no different than me and you. We judge people every day based on the little we think we know about them. And we spend more time judging others rather than looking at yourself. And I know it's okay, you can judge me based on what I did. Folks, don't judge me. But I want to share with you something I think is important. We are not a victim to the circumstances. We're not a victim to the situation. Folks, I was abused as a child. My beautiful ex-wife, Marsha, I'm talking about, you know, for 17 years, she's never seen me speak. My parents are both alcoholics. My father has never told me he's proud of me. That's okay. You want to know why that's okay? Because you only know what you know. And therefore you can only do what you have learned. And if you haven't learned growth mindset, if we have a fixed mindset, there's nothing further that you can do because you're stuck. That potential is limited. Open your heart to the pie. You're smart people. This stress, this anxiety, the expectations. Hey, go to school, don't do this, do that. For what? For what? What is your purpose? What's your drive? What's your why? You're not a victim. I want you to rise up and be a victor. I think that's a mindset. Let's not be bitter that this happened. Let's not be angry. Let's choose to be better in life. It's not your fault, but your responsibility is simple. You wake up, you get up, you dress up, you show up. Half the battle. And you know something? Many of us can't even do that right. Now, I'm generalizing. We show up late, we're not prepared, we have a bad attitude, we didn't get enough sleep, your phone goes off in the middle of the night, all of a sudden you come out of level 4 sleep and you're like, SMH, he said that, OMG, oh, she did that, oh, group text, she was just going down tomorrow, and you get like 3 hours of interrupted sleep, and you wake up, you come down, and your parents are like, good morning, you're like, shut up forever. I'll change your life right now, 3 things. Number 1, sleep. Young people need 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep, and if you're ugly, you need more. Number 2, nutrition. Ladies and gentlemen, we're consuming over 200 grams more sugar a day than we should be consuming. And we're also less involved, more isolation. You're consuming the sugar. You know who's best friends? Sugar and depression. They like hang out. So more water, less soda. More protein, less carbs. Number 3, you can watch my TED Talk on this, but real quick I'll tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, take this phone and put it down a little bit. Maybe you don't go to sleep with it. Because here's what's happening, and it's not your fault. If you spend more than 4 or 5 hours a day on your smartphone, you're 70% more likely to have major depression in your life. What's happening is this phone is affecting one's mental well-being in a negative way. This phone and the dopamine is causing us to feel alone, and it's causing us to feel that we're disappointed. So if we can put it down a little bit and we can get more involved. That's life skills, coping skills, problem solving skills, communication, agree to disagree. That's important. You know what I noticed this morning? I came in, I walked up and I see this nice lady. Hey, I'm Jeff, I'm your speaker. Oh, hi, I'm the principal. Oh, shit, okay. And so for like 15 minutes I'm talking to the principal. You know what she did? While we're talking, she interrupted me every time to say, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, none of you present, none of you really saw that. Let's don't be present. Be engaged. Your attitude, your choices, your behavior. Don't complicate it. The first thing, you wake up, you get up, you dress up, you show up. That's half the battle. Now the other half, I think attitude, choices, behavior. I used to hate talking to kids about attitude until I realized that I'm a man that lives with mental illness. And so the whole, I'm not a victim, I'm going to be a victor. I'm not going to be bitter and angry. I want to be better. Here's what I tell my kids. You wake up, positive attitude, boom, positive behavior. At the end of the day, positive results. Versus bad attitude, bad behavior, shut up. You're stupid. Mom, just whatever. And then at the end of the day, honey, how was school? Stupid. Well, you're so stupid, your attitude needs to change. Attitude, choices, behavior. Folks, I'm not a smart man. I graduated high school, 128 out of 133 students. Thank you very much. I was rejected by 16 of the 19 colleges that I applied to. Appreciate it. I had to study. Twitch, ADD, ADHD, I just learned differently. There was a lot then that I wasn't diagnosed with, that I'm diagnosed with now, but I wish I knew that. You know something? Life happens, right? I was a 3-sport all-state varsity athlete, heavily recruited to play Division I football. Until one day, I take those SATs. I scored so poorly on the SATs that I was academically ineligible to go to college to play college sports. That right there is when my self-esteem plummeted. And I started walking through school like, I'm stupid, I'm not as smart as you. I'm never going to date a pretty girl. I'm never going to amount to be anything. On the night that I graduated from high school, my mom and dad kicked me out of the house. And I don't know how can parents do that. It's taking responsibility for me. I've come to realize that, you know what? I probably would have kicked me out too. I'll tell you what, my attitude, my behavior, and my choices. And I found myself walking the streets of New York with a chip on my shoulder. Now, I'm not saying you have, I'm generalizing, but some of us, we walk through life and we're like, yo, you don't know me. Everyone has a story. But ladies and gentlemen, your story doesn't define you. As a man that lives with mental illness, I'm not the victim. I wake up early every morning for self-care, meditation, breathing, yoga, stretching, maybe journaling. And I'll tell you why, because my anxiety is at like a 7, 8, 9. And for me to be healthy, I got to do the work to bring it down. So at 110, I don't know where you are, but I know in a high-performing school like we're in, the stress, the struggle, the expectations, the pressure. And so we're living here, but we got to be here. If I'm at a 7, 8, 9, how present am I? And so I got to do the work so that when I show up, I own this day. This day ain't owning me. Are you listening? Yeah, you front row. Thank you. You ever been disappointed? Have you ever wondered where disappointment comes from? Where? Let me share. I think disappointment comes as a result of our expectations not being met. We have expectations of our friends and how they treat us, expectations about teachers, the school, the principal, the people. Everyone's supposed to be nice. But that's not the way life is. You know what I've learned? Replace the expectation with appreciation. You're listening? I'm a 48-year-old fat bald guy. I get to come here, stand on stage, and a young person, you're listening. I have goosebumps. I get to be a part of your life. And I think we need to make our lives about a bigger purpose than just how. You know, sometimes we go through life and sometimes, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I turned the paper in. I'm sorry I said that. What about if you start validating people? Hey, my friend, thanks for listening, man. Hey, thanks for giving me some extra time to turn the paper in. Hey, thanks. Hey, man, thanks for coming today. And so when you validate, you make it about them, it kind of changes everything. But I didn't know that. When I sat there where you're sitting, we looked out at the world in front of us, and it's like, who am I going to be? What am I going to do in my life? I don't know. I don't even know who I am. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be okay. Relax. But you know what? I want you to show up every day and be present, be engaged, have some appreciation. Focus more on the objective rather than the expectation. Because now you're in control. And so the objective, I get up early, I take care of me, bring the anxiety down. And then all of a sudden say, what time am I going on? Did I have good breakfast? Did I show up early? Am I ready? And if I respect you, you're probably going to respect me back. But if I respect you and you choose not to respect me back, that's not my issue, that's your issue. Now think, man. My self-esteem, 18 years old, I honestly thought that if I could just meet a girl and marry her, that maybe she would take care of me. And so at 18 years old, I met a girl, I married her. 19 years old, we bring a child in the world. I'm a child bringing in a child. I can't even babysit a cactus. But there were people in my life, hey, listen, let's not consider this, let's talk about this, you don't have to do that, think about this. But now, I'm a man, I got to take care of my family. I think one of the things that I did wrong is I didn't open my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have people in your life that you trust and respect and whose opinions you value, go to them. I joined the Marine Corps. And here's how fast life happens. 20 years old, I go to the Gulf War. I was there for 2 weeks. 3 o'clock in the morning we patrol. Roadside bomb goes off. 2 Marines were killed. Then we come back stateside, 38 Marines in the plane, 2 in a flag draped coffin underneath the plane. I wasn't. February 26, 1992, stationed in Jacksonville, Florida. 7:30 in the morning, all the Marines are lined up at the armory getting their weapons. We had formation inspection, 8 a.m. I'm walking down the barracks to my side. Gentlemen, let's go, grab your weapons, let's get out there, don't be late, we got formation. Third door, left-hand side was room 206. The door slightly cracked, I pushed open the door. One of my Marines is sitting there right in front of me. He had this gaze that just pierced right through me. As his eyes were, let's go, let's get out there. He looked at me, he says, "Patriot, nobody cares about me." I says, "I care about you." He takes a 9mm off of his lap and he slowly starts bringing it up. And as he looked at me in my eyes, I looked at him in his eyes, he said, "You're the only one." And he pulled the trigger. And they didn't let me leave that room until 9 p.m. that night. I live with this every day. I see it, I feel it, I hear, I taste it. 27 years of asking for help and wanting to be a better person, I've come to learn, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to be sensitive to the family, to everyone that went through this, but I have learned that this did not happen to me. Life does not happen to you. Life happens for you. And in the stress and the anxiety and the pressure and the expectations, you got to learn self-care. how to take care of you. You gotta own it. Don't let it own you. This did not happen to me. Life shapes you, everything, because everything you go through makes you a better person. You become a better leader, a better student, a better friend, boyfriend, girlfriend. You become a better athlete. As long as you're not the victim, you grow. Maybe I had to go through this to shape my life to be who I am, doing what I do. I'll tell you, the time I'm here, if one of you comes up, hey Jeff, thanks for serving our country, I will stop, look you in the eye, shake your hand and say, thanks for listening. Because I never want someone to walk away from me thinking I didn't care about you. But I still didn't learn, pushing away the messengers, bad attitude, bad choices, bad behavior. You don't even need therapy to think you should go to therapy. I think it's great to folks to hear. Here's the thing. Thoughts are thoughts. Like a leg is a leg, an arm is an arm. Thoughts are thoughts. But feelings. Feelings need to be talked about. Because if you don't talk about your feelings, it'll manifest, and at some point it will explode and you will snap. Do not make decisions based on emotion. Make decisions based on... Take time to stop and breathe. Your little brother hits you, don't jack him up because you get in trouble. What do you do? Let me hit me first! Well, you're the older sibling, you know. That's not fair! Relax. 22 years old, I had my second child. 23 years old, I lost everything. And so as a result of my attitude, my choices, my bad behavior, 10 years ago, this happened. The mother of my daughters calls me. I'm in Michigan. And she says to me, are you free? No, I'm speaking today. Why? And Mom said to me, I just dropped your daughters off at the airport. And unless you want them to be homeless, you need to find them a one-way ticket. They're no longer welcome in my family. Within about 3.5 hours of getting that phone call, I arrived at Yalden International Airport. And I remember get off the plane, I walk in front of the airport, my daughters were sitting on the bench. They had 3 black trash bags to their name. That's it. They had no money, no cell phone. They barely had hope. Ladies and gentlemen, do not ever lose hope. I know life is hard. I know that we're going through something, whether it be addiction, whether it be divorce, blended families, our family, this struggle, I get it. Life is not fair. Life will never be fair. But you make life as fair can be with your attitude, your choices, your behavior, your trusting in people, your self-care. I ran over to my daughters. I gave them a great big hug. I said, it's going to be okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know that it would be okay, but I'll tell you something I believe. I believe that if you do the work every day, there ain't nothing that you can't do. And that's you wake up, get up, dress up, show up. And some days you're just not as fast as others. But you pick up your head and just put one foot in front of the other. Perfection doesn't exist. I want you to learn to be patient in the process because life is not in the here and the now. It will be okay. And I'm proud that my daughters came to the world victims of Dad's choices. They rose up to be victorious. I'm proud of them for that. They're not bitter, they're not angry. They just want to be better, and so did I. Don't be the victim. Don't wallow. Woe is me, you don't understand. Pick yourself up. You know, I'm going to leave you with this. I've learned in my later years to appreciate people that have wisdom and experience. I love old people. Old people smell, but they don't care. I want to tell you about my wife's grandpa. His name was Mr. Ken, dropped out of school in the 8th grade. Never went to the Second World War because he started a business, provided food for the community. He ended up owning shopping centers, mobile home parks, gas stations, car dealerships. Most unbelievable man. One of the most proud moments you'll ever have is when you own a home and you decide that we're going to have Thanksgiving in our house. I'll never forget, Marcia and I bought a home, Cape Cod, and decided that we were going to have Thanksgiving. I remember that day Grandpa shows up, pulls up in the driveway in his Cadillac, he had 11 of them. Not at the same time. And I've always been taught to be a gentleman. I walk out to the car and, hey, Grandpa, good to see you. How are you? Come on in, Grandpa. I'm walking him in the house. I'm walking him in the house. He said, 94 years old. I bring him into the dining room. Hey, Grandpa, you sit right here, Grandpa. You sit right. No, I asked you to sit. The man in the house sits there. I know, Grandpa. I want you to sit there. Grandpa sits there. Grandpa, I'm sitting next to you, Grandpa. I'm sitting next to you. Oh, I sat there that Thanksgiving. You ever read the book Tuesdays with Maury? Oh, that's a good book. You know something? A lot of corporations today, they're not even asking, hey, where'd you go to college? A lot of them start to say, what did you do? I can ask you and say, hey, how many of you would admit that you're probably a little bit lazy? You guys just fall out of your chair, raise your hands. And I can say, how many of you like 15 minutes a day on your own read? Some of you, 5% of you. Ladies and gentlemen, the average person reads less than 1/10 of one book in 1 year. 15 minutes a day, you've read 18 books. Pick up a book, because I'll tell you something. Many of you are going to be entrepreneurs. You're going to be responsible for who you become and what you do and how much you earn. Self-made man. And so we're sitting there, and I thought to myself, I want to spend more time with him. I live 2 miles from us. And I made a decision that every day I was home, I wanted to go sit and talk to Grandpa. And so every day I drive 2 miles over the bridge to his house. Pull up in the driveway, walk up the patio. He was always sitting in his chair. And I remember walking up thinking, hey, Grandpa's waiting for me. He wasn't waiting for me. See, when you're 94, 95, 96, 97, you don't go far. You pretty much, you wake up, you go to your chair, you go to the bathroom, you go back to the bedroom, to the bathroom, to the bedroom, to the chair, to the bathroom, to the chair, to the bedroom, bathroom, chair, bathroom, chair. Sometimes you just go to the bathroom in your chair. You get to a point where, I didn't really go to grass! But I remember when he was hard of hearing, so when I walked in the house, I had to be quiet because I didn't want to kill him. It's like, what? Dead. But you had to shake his hand. And I remember he would stand up. Grandpa always invited me to sit down. I never sat down until he invited me to do something. You have grandparents? Do you know why you and your grandparents have such a meaningful, awesome relationship? I'll tell you why, because between you and your grandparents, there's a common enemy in the middle. Well, I remember one day, my mother-in-law had Parkinson's disease, and she lived with us. I come home one day, and she says, are you going to visit Grandpa today? I says, yeah, I'm on my way over there. Why? He bought you a present. I'm not supposed to tell you. He bought me. Why? He loves when you visit. And so he went and bought a chair like he has, because he thinks every man should have their own chair. He bought me a chair. And I sat in the stool. I never realized it. But I went, you know how grandparents, we don't talk, because that wisdom and experience, it's not about you, it's about others. You. And I would sit down and I had to start the conversation. I'd be like, how you doing, Grandpa? Good? You look good. You look real good today. You feel good? And he'd just sit there like, and I didn't know what to say. I'd be like, nice day, huh? Sky is out. Sky is always out. And Grandpa would just be like, but when he talked, you listen. As you guys are stressing and struggling and trying to find yourself, I want to share with you 3 things that I will always remember from him that I'll take with me forever. I remember that one time he sat there and said, the 3 most powerful words that you can say to someone. I love you. Never talked about his his money, his home, his cars. He talked about family and love. The second thing, free. Everything was free. Most courageous words that you could say to someone. I'm sorry. Grandpa has two. You wise ass. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember the day I got to his house, he wasn't sitting in his chair. I walked in the house, he was lying on the kitchen floor and he'd fallen and broken his hip and he couldn't get up. I rush over, I get down on my knees and says, Grandpa's going to be okay. I called 911, everybody knew Mr. Ken. Because every day, 94, 95, 96, 97, he walked 4 miles a day. And when I called 911, the dispatcher recognized where the phone call was coming from. She said, I'm sorry, is this Mr. Ken? I said, yes, ma'am, I'm his grandson. Everybody showed up. The Rock, Baywatch, Hawaii 5-0 chips, the A-team, the sirens, the police cars, the fire department, the ambulance, paramedics. They rush to the house, they grab him, they run him off to the hospital, they do emergency surgery, and then late that afternoon the family comes in and the family decides to go out to dinner that night. And so we're walking out to dinner and my wife says to me, she says, honey, why don't you stay with Grandpa? I said, why don't you stay with him? He's your grandpa. And my wife looked at me and said, well, the family thinks that everybody thinks that Grandpa would like it best if you were there because you were the closest one to him. Ladies and gentlemen, I stayed that night. All the machines lit up the room. I held his hand like a baby would squeeze your finger. And through the night I heard him whisper, we never have time to do things right, but we always have time to do things over. Why don't we just do it right the first time? I learned how to spell the word love that night. T-I-M-E. The next morning, his heart capacity was less than 10%. The family comes in, the doctors gave the family maybe 48 hours to live. Says, I'm sorry, but he's not going to make it. So that night, the family goes out to dinner. As we're going out to dinner, I said, I'm not leaving. I sat there with him that night. Family was home sleeping. He says, I love you, Grandpa. Thank you. He says, you can go, Grandpa. I'll take care of the family. It was 7:30 in the morning. Grandpa closed his eyes. The nurse came in. She took the covers. And she put it over him. She looked at me and she said, he was a nice man. I'll leave you with this. You're beautiful people. You go to a beautiful school. You're going to do great things. Are you after titles? Or are you after testimonies? Titles? Testimonies. I measure my success in life on 3 questions. I challenge you this weekend, 3 questions. Is my life meaningful? Is my life fulfilling? And is my life rewarding? The challenge is to you is to look in the mirror and you ask yourself, is my life meaningful? What does it mean? You figure it out. Is my life fulfilling? I don't know. Is your purpose bigger than you? Is my life rewarding? Do I give? Will it come back? Don't give expecting it to come back, but I promise you it will. And the challenge is, if you don't say yes to these 3 questions, you got to spend more time looking in the mirror and thinking about what you got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on social media at Jeff Yalden. I love you. If I can ever do anything for you, reach out, Have a great weekend. Go out there, kick some butt, take care of yourself. I appreciate your time.
And I say sharing this day because Mr. Yalden has graciously agreed to stay here until around 1 p.m. And he's going to be here during lunch in the lecture hall room, room 183. So if you have any questions for him, like to interact with him one-on-one, he's going to be in the room 183 today during lunch. So feel free to come by. Hello everybody, my name is Liam Hall. I'm the other SGA co-president this year. And as we bring this year's SGA Spring Project to a close, I'd like to introduce you all to the organization that we will be donating to this year. Every year our SGA donates to a nonprofit organization aligned with our Spring Project theme. This year I'm proud to say that organization will be You Matter. As you all heard in your English class presentations, You Matter, spelled in the text shorthand UMTTR, is a mental health awareness organization dedicated to raising awareness for teen depression and suicide and cultivating a compassionate community where everyone feels that they matter. You Matter was founded in 2013 after a fellow Montgomery County student, Evan Rosenstock, took his own life. In wake of Evan's death, his family and friends came together to create You Matter. Today, nearly 7 years after its original founding, You Matter continues its belief that by researching and drawing attention to mental health, we can empower and uplift one another. In addition to being a locally founded organization, You Matter is a founding member of Michelle Obama's campaign to change direction in mental health, a major proponent of the Sources of Strength program, and has organized partnerships with the National Association of Mental Illness, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the Positive Coaching Alliance, among others. When we contacted You Matter a few months ago about donating a few $1,000s to them, I came to meet one of their founders, Evan's mother, Sue. And over the past few months I've come to know Sue and realized that she is quite the champion for teens and for mental health. And despite not being able to make our assembly here today, she was kind enough to record a little message for us. So if you can all turn your attention to the screen above, she has a short video for us. Thank you.
Hey, Wootton Patriot! Sue Rosenstock, co-founder of You Matter here, to tell you a little bit about us. We started the organization, actually it was 4 of my son's friends who came to me after he lost his life to suicide and said that if this happened to Evan, this could happen to anyone. And we're scared. We want to be able to do something. So we had a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, which then sprang into continuous research and finding of peer-led, evidence-based programs. And thank you for your support and choosing to donate your class funds this year to You Matter, because we'll use those funds to put posters of the 5 signs and the 5 healthy habits into all of Montgomery County schools. So I want to let you know the 5 signs for emotional well-being are to take care, check in, engage, relax, and know 5 signs that someone might be suffering, which is a personality change, agitation, withdrawn, poor self-care, and hopelessness. So if you see that in yourself or someone else, you want to reach out, you want to connect, you want to offer help and give hope. Speak to a trusted adult. So I just wanted to let you know that I could not be there today because we are participating in the LA Marathon with a cheer zone. along with the Positive Coaching Alliance in LA, as well as the Campaign to Change Direction in Mental Health, who has a team of runners. So go Patriots and make it a great day. Always remember that you matter. And someone at the back of the room, I think, has some goodies for you. Enjoy and always remember you matter.
Program together for us this week, and thank you all for being a fabulous audience. At this time, we will begin dismissal, and you will be reporting to your fourth period class. Have a great day. Thank you.